Luxury cars. You're supposed to see them a mile away. They make a statement every time they come to you. However, take a look at this 2022 Genesis G80. It's bold, it's dynamic, and I've been loving it. So I want to tell its story to you. I'm Randy Stern, behind the camera is George Torline, and this is Victory in Reseda. This is a luxury mid-size sedan that offers something for everyone. The ones who aspire for something special that befits their lifestyle, while offering something dynamic and bold for the enthusiasts. If that sounds familiar, you probably own something from the purveyors of the ultimate driving machine. However, this is a Genesis, the luxury brand of Hyundai. Something with not much of a legacy and tradition unless you go back a couple of generations when Hyundai introduced the original Genesis sedan back in 2008. This third generation model amplified its boldness through its massive grille. This is flanked by a set of dual horizontal LED headlamps that induce a character profile with a dual streak on the front fender around the exterior to the rear taillights. The roofline fits perfectly with this theme. It almost appears to be fastback-like. The short rear deck finishes off this dynamic exterior, while the sculpted 20-inch alloy wheels emphasize its sporty credentials. On the Genesis G80, you will notice that this chrome is not exactly that bright chrome that you expect from a lot of luxury cars. In fact, I'll tell you what this reminds me of. When you were renovating your house and you're changing all the light fixtures to this antique brass, it looks like a shinier version of that. And I'll tell you what, I'm not mad at it. I think it looks great. A luxury car interior must be inviting and nice to the senses. The G80's cabin is exactly that. It is designed for the driver in mind while offering a nice space for its passengers. There are no gimmicks inside the G80. Well, there's the infotainment controller above the shift knob and the 3D instrument cluster. If you've driven a Genesis before, then you should be familiar with how these controls work. If you're new to the brand, take some time to familiarize yourself on how they work and their logic. You'll thank us for that. The switches and controls inside the G80 are also familiar to anyone who own or have driven any of Hyundai's vehicles currently, yet they do feel elevated and nicer to the touch overall. Infotainment-wise, you get a 14.5-inch wide touchscreen that you can use the controller on the center console or by the switches on the steering wheel. Lexicon offers 21 speakers of dynamic sound inside the cabin. You also get smartphone integration and wireless charging as well. All occupants inside the Sport Prestige model are treated to the chevron-designed Napa leather upholstery with contrast stitching. Seating is actually fine for 4 adults, as long as the rear seat occupants watch the high transmission tunnel in the footwell and the sloping roofline. Front seat occupants also get seat back bolsters that automatically sense the velocity of the G80 to lock you in or relieve you when you're simply cruising. The seats themselves are firm but comfortable and supportive. You have a 13.1 cubic feet trunk that looks more accommodating than its specs. The word dynamic has its roots underneath the hood. This twin turbocharged 3.5-liter V6 is no slouch. This engine puts down up to 375 horsepower and 391 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to a smooth shifting 8-speed automatic transmission, and in our tester, it sends power to all 4 wheels. Did I mention that it's no slouch? The throttle response is terrific and has no qualms about making its presence known on the highway. The ride quality is solid, even enhanced a tad when you put it into sport mode. It does hunker down and handles the curves with authority. Maneuverability is sharp, coming from a responsive steering rack. While the steering action is sharp, it's even sharper in sport mode. Before we go on, we must talk about Sport Plus mode. If you switch to that mode, say goodbye to traction control and other functions for absolute fun behind the wheel. See what we mean by dynamic? The brakes offer great stops and solid response from the pedal. Pricing for the 2022 Genesis G80 starts at $48,250. You have a choice of 2 engines, rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and with 3 trims per engine choice. This G80 3.5T all-wheel drive Sport Prestige Tester came with a sticker price of $71,095. So I've been driving this for a few days and I've gotten a lot of good looks for it. I mean, it really does look sharp and it does stand out, but that's what a luxury sedan is supposed to do. And more importantly, this is what Genesis is achieving. It's achieving excellence through design, and in its 3rd generation, the G80 hits all the spots. So if you're thinking about getting a mid-size luxury sedan, look no further. If you like what you watch, don't forget to click the subscribe, the like button, and the notification bell in case you want to find out when our next video is coming out. And don't forget to log on to randystern.net for all the latest content from Victory and Reseda. I'm Randy Stern. Behind the camera is George Torline. So long, everybody.